What are we doing here? Hey.
Well, I don't want an assassin in my apartment.
We don't want this guy knowing where we live, right? Use your head.
Hang on a second. You guys already went ahead and found someone and was coming here?
Big time.
Not we. Dale.
I found a guy, yeah. It was pretty easy. As easy as buying a used futon.
You found a hitman online?
Yeah. And they don't write hitman, right? Because that's dumb. So they use little code words like wet work, right? Liquidation. Check them out.
Skilled professional with years of experience in domestic and international
Wet work.
Fast and discreet, no children, no political figures.
That last part was important to me. When I saw that, I thought, okay, this is a good idea.
I still feel like we should have got a cheese plate or something for this guy just to make this
20/20 hindsight.
Is that him?
Yeah, that was definitely a car.
He looks like James Bond.
He really does, dude. I bet he carries one of those guns that you screw together.
Yes.
Those are like the coolest guns they make,
gonna be
man.
great.
It's
So dangerous. What if that is an undercover cop?
Oh, come
Or
on.
better yet, what if it's a real thing? He charges so much money, we can't afford it. He gets pissed off, kills us.
He's not gonna kill all three of us. Hold on.
That's a thing?
Could that happen?
Gotta let him in now.
Okay, how's my hair?
What do you mean, how's your hair?
It doesn't matter. Okay, let's do it. Okay. Ready? Yeah.
Are you Dale?
I am the one they call Dale. Please come in.
Thank you. Are all three of you participating in this?
Mm-hmm.
Yes?
Well,
Yep.
Yes.
Very well. Now, before we go any further, I need to know if there are any hidden recording devices in the room. I will find out if there are.
Yeah.
I'm sure you would, but there's none, because that would be
never.
stupid of us, and we're not stupid.
Silly move.
it's a no.
Then let's get started.
I love this guy.
This is the real deal. I mean,
This
this guy
voice,
is
are you
totally
kidding me?
legit. And you do know that we just want to start with the...
Whoa. Hey, wait, what's this for?
For the mess.
What?
Wouldn't want to leave a stain now, would we?
Oh my God, I knew it.
Who's first?
No,
Who's first?
No,
No, we don't
want you to kill
Yeah, we want you to kill another person. If anyone's first, probably him.
No,
but
God,
let's just-
Gentlemen, what are you talking about?
Your ad said you do wet work.
That's correct. I urinate on other men for money.
What was that?
What'd he say?
I think he said he pisses on dudes.
Why else do you think my ad was in the men seeking men section?
Where was it?
You fucking idiot.
Could you be dumber?
Why were you looking in the men seeking men?
Looking for a man.
How do people let you work on their teeth?
They don't actually. I just hand the tools to Julia.
So mad at you
Are you
right now.
telling me that I've driven all this way and nobody wants to get pissed on?
Well, it's not our thing.
Sorry about that.
Can I use your toilet? I stored up rather a large amount of pee for this.
Sure. Yeah, it's right through there. Knock yourself out.
Oh, and by the way, I still will want my $200.
Understandable.
We insist.
200, huh?
$200 to
The
kill
bargain.
3 people?
I thought it was such a good deal.
You dipshit. It reflects poorly on me that you're my friend.
You know what's going on in there?
Yeah, let's just go.
That was almost all over us.
Papa loves mambo. Mama loves mambo. You know I've got special powers. I'm a shape changer. I can change my form into anything. What do you like?
Silver dollar nipples?
All right.
Like a lot of junk in the trunk, so.
Kinky.
And a monobrow. A brow king wants a monobrow.
Okay.
Like a fat blue Britney Spears. Here.
Morning, baby. Handsome man.
Nathaniel is in a committed relationship with a car that he's named Chase. he met Chase in a resale lot about 5 years ago.
Love you, baby. It was love at first sight. His body and then his interior and everything just together just seemed to fit. And I just felt an instant connection.
Nathaniel's obsession first developed as a teenager when he would build model cars. But he didn't find true love until he met Chase.
I find this part of him the most sexy just because of the subtle lines and curves. I'll give him a kiss here and just kind of caress him down the side.
My initial reaction was, I was kind of shocked. It was kind of weird because it was just hard to understand.
Honestly, I don't know why I feel the way I do, but I just absolutely love Chase. We always have such a good time together.
The crimes of Jeffrey Dahmer made the world cringe. 17 murders. Cannibalism. Sex with the dead. A man who made his Milwaukee apartment into a violent and erotic death chamber.
One thing led to another. It took more and more deviant type behaviors to satisfy my urges.
Dahmer even tried to create living sex zombies by injecting acid into their brains. Jeffrey Dahmer, it seemed, was as close to raw evil as the world had ever known.
Jeffrey thought he was the devil. Jeffrey thought he was so evil that he was equal to the devil.
Jeff's fascination with nature and small animals continued into his teenage years, when he became curious about what they looked like on the inside. For specimens, he collected roadkill. Riding around the country roads in Bath, carrying garbage bags, Jeff searched for carcasses. Jeff brought the roadkill he found into the backyard of the house, and there in the secrecy of the woods, he dissected the animals.
I really have become convinced that that was sort of the starting point in this downward spiral of his. And it was associated with his puberty. And when you have hormones kicking into this terrible mixture, what he's doing, he's investigating insides of animals. And his sexuality was developing at the same time.
Teenage Jeff was discovering that he felt sexually attracted only to men. But the thoughts of sex with men became interlocked with fantasies of killing another man and dismemberment. The fantasies excited him, but they were unspeakable.
I think it was around age 14 or 15. Started having obsessive thoughts of violence intermingled with sex. And it just got worse and worse. I didn't know how to tell anyone about it, so I didn't. I just kept it all inside.
The fantasies included lying next to an unconscious man. For the first time, Jeff's fantasies crossed the line from his mind into action. He devised a plan. He would knock out a local jogger with a bat and lie next to him. On the day he opted to wait for his victim, the jogger didn't run by. He never attempted the clubbing a second time. At the library, a man handed him a note offering sexual favors. Dahmer declined, but he would later say the note was a turning point. It awakened sexual desires deep inside him. Specifically, he wanted the submissive company of another male. He wanted someone to fulfill his sexual needs, but he didn't want to be burdened by anyone else's needs. Jeffrey started with a perfectly submissive partner. He stole a store window mannequin. He kept the plastic man in his closet, bringing it out to masturbate onto until his grandmother found it and insisted he get rid of it. On his free nights, Jeffrey began exploring gay life in Milwaukee, browsing through porn shops and going to bathhouses. The bath clubs catered mostly to men seeking anonymous sex. To make his partners there submissive, Jeffrey gave them drinks laced with sleeping pills. When they fell unconscious, he would lie down next to them, listening to the sounds of their bodies, their heartbeats, their stomachs. But the drugging experiments ended when one man overdosed and spent a week in the hospital. Jeff was asked never to return to the club. But he then discovered the gay bars and discos of Milwaukee. These would become the killer's favorite hunting grounds. Dahmer now decided to pursue his fantasies of ultimate control. It was no longer enough to have his partners submissive just for a night. He wanted to keep them that way forever. So with the intent to murder and then butcher the men he picked up, Dahmer returned to the clubs. At a bus stop outside 219, he met 14-year-old James Doc Stater. Dahmer offered him $50 to spend the night with him. They took the bus back to Dahmer's grandmother's. While she slept, Jeff and Doc Stater had oral sex. Then Dahmer drugged and strangled him, his preferred method for killing.
He stated in no way did he ever want to hurt anybody. As funny as this sounds, that is the reason why he killed everyone by strangling them, because not only did he get the power and the thrill of committing the murder, but it was also the most humane way.
With Doc Stater, Dahmer further explored his dark fantasies. He hid the body in the basement for a week and continued to have sex with it.
Most serial killers are sexual deviants who are social and psychological sociopaths and sexual-paths who kill people for their own sexual gratification. Dahmer's was different than that. He was a true necrophiliac. He was trying to have sex with an unconscious or dead person.
Once James Doc Stater began to decay, Dahmer dismembered him in the basement near a floor drain, just as he had with Toomey. One victim almost got away. Dahmer had drugged 14-year-old Konorak Synthosamphone, the brother of the boy Dahmer had been jailed for molesting the year before. As Konorak slept, Dahmer went out to buy more liquor. But while he was gone, the teen woke up. He staggered out into the street naked. A concerned neighbor called 911.
Milwaukee Emergency Operator 71.
Okay, hi. I'm on 25th and State, and this is young man. He is butt naked. He has been beaten up. He is very bruised up. He can't stand. He's study fall out. He is butt naked. He has no clothes on. He was really hurt.
Police arrived. By this time, Dahmer had returned from his beer run. As he had with police in Bath, Ohio after his first killing, Dahmer smoothly lied. He told police that Konorak was his gay lover who simply had too much to drink. He brought the cops into his apartment and showed them Polaroids he'd taken of the teen, proof, he said, of their relationship. The police believed the 14-year-old was of legal age and left him behind with Dahmer. They wrote the incident off as a lover's quarrel. Again, Dahmer had been slippery enough to keep his killings a secret. As soon as the cops left, he murdered the boy. Inside Dahmer's apartment, the bodies began to pile up. So he bought a 57-gallon drum and filled it with a powerful acid to dissolve the dismembered limbs and torsos. After weeks in the acid, the remains of Dahmer's would-be lovers became sludge, which he flushed down the toilet or the bathtub drain. For others, Jeffrey boiled the skin off their bones on the stove. A sweet, bitter odor of death began to infest the building, and many tenants traced the smells straight to Dahmer's door.
It's awful funny. Whatever Jeff was cooking, Jeff never bought no groceries. So what could he have been cooking that smelled like chitlins? Chitlins have a very peculiar, nasty odor to them, you know.
Dahmer was pathologically lonesome, not wanting his sexual partners to leave him even after death. He took keepsake photos while removing their flesh and then preserved certain parts.
And one thing led to another. It took more and more deviant type behaviors to satisfy my urges.
He devised a plan to build a shrine out of skeletons and skulls, but he was still in search of the perfect partner, one who was completely submissive but alive and not prone to decay. On a few still living victims, Dahmer used a power drill to open small holes in their skulls. Then he injected acid into their brains. According to Dahmer, none of his experimental zombies lived longer than a day. And in perhaps the ultimate effort to keep his victims with him, Dahmer began eating their flesh.
It made me feel like they were a permanent part of me. Besides the just mere curiosity of what it would be like, it made them feel that they were a part of me, and it gave me a sexual satisfaction to do that.
Throughout this year of ruthless killing, Dahmer still appeared outwardly normal. In this video, taken at his grandmother's house on Thanksgiving, Dahmer talked calmly with his father.
Well, you're looking good. Grandma was saying that she thought that you got quite a bit thinner, but you look fit. I don't know.
Well, I've been surviving mostly on McDonald's food. It's just so much easier just to pop into the restaurant. But
yeah,
like I've said before, it gets too expensive, and
it does.
I have to start eating at home more. It's amazing how he could sit there and appear like he's, you know, clean cut, nice jacket on, and talking very hopefully about his job, intelligent. It's amazing how much a human being can hide from another human being.
But careful as he was, Jeffrey Dahmer was about to run out of good lies. Dahmer's crimes seemed to be devastating proof of insanity. What else could explain the actions of a man who had sex with the dead, dismembered their bodies, preserved their skulls, and ate their flesh, all for sexual gratification? But the law has a very strict interpretation of insanity. Dahmer's defense team had to prove two things. One, that he indeed suffered from a mental disease, and that it kept him from knowing right from wrong.
Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, I understand you have arrived at verdicts in this manner.
In a 10-2 decision, the jury found Jeffrey Dahmer legally sane.